We think of gender as the body we were born with, either being male or being female. But what happens when someone doesn't identify with the body they were born into? This is called transgender. Experts say approximately 1% of the population is transgender, but lack of awareness and discrimination of transgender people keep many from reporting their real identities. In the first of a two-part series, WTIU's Taylor Killow takes us on a journey with two transgender people who are in the process of transitioning.
Every day, Kaylee Renner has to take a handful of medications.
It's those and then a finasteride, which is basically like Propecia, basically hair loss.
Kaylee is male to female transgender, so she takes biotin for healthy hair and nail growth, an anti-androgen called spironolactone, and estrogen. It's a lot of work, but she says she would rather take all these pills than the medication she used to take to treat her depression. Before she realized she was transgender, things were so bad for Kaylee that she nearly lost everything.
And it just quickly became obvious, life just kind of spiraling more out of control, about to get expelled from school and losing jobs. It's just this horrible depression. I don't want to do anything. And it's like, well, I have to, because there's just nowhere else to go.
A study published in January at the UCLA School of Law found the percent of transgender people who attempt suicide is 41%. That's nearly 10 times greater than the general population. As a social worker, Becky Bickle works with transgender people of all ages. She says suicidal ideations among transgender people can be triggered by dysphoria, the feeling of not being comfortable in your own skin.
Dysphoria is the extreme discomfort or anxiety that someone gets in relation to being misgendered or called the gender that they do not feel they identify with. Very similar to anxiety or panic for some people in the moment, and then after a long-term expression of that, some depressive symptoms often come, some lack of motivation, not wanting to get up, often suicidal ideations will come from just constant dysphoria.
You're this entity that's kind of outside of your body, and that's not you. And so having things like a picture taken, or like being the center of attention, or up on stage doing something and just putting yourself or your body out on display feels extremely uncomfortable, and you're not quite sure why.
IU freshman Drake Eilert is transitioning from female to male.
It was very frustrating, very, of course, lonely as well, because I didn't really know anything about the LGBT community. Coming from a small town, very conservative, and especially I was raised in a conservative Christian church, it was very difficult trying to figure out what was going on and why I felt different from everybody else, why my physical body didn't seem to connect with my mind in this way.
You know, I knew that something was eating at him. You know, I really felt like he was being consumed from the inside out. And, you know, just waited. I waited for him, you know, to be ready to talk with me.
Sheila calls it a huge relief when Drake came out to her as transgender.
To know that at least, you know, we knew what steps, you know, to give him completeness. So it was I was so thankful, really, for that day.
So what exactly does it mean to be transgender?
People who their natal sex or their biological sex do not match the sex that they identify with, and so their gender then is separate than the sex that they were given at birth.
Miranda Warden works with transgender teens at the Indiana Youth Group in Indianapolis. She says more young people question their gender than many realize.
I think more and more youth are starting to question their gender and identifying outside this kind of strict binary that society has set up for us.
The gender binary Warden refers to is the idea that everyone is strictly male or strictly female. The relatively new term genderqueer refers to someone who doesn't identify completely with either gender, but somewhere in the middle.
People ask, am I a girl or a boy? And I just say yes, or I just say no. It's like, I am both or I am neither. It's like, whatever.
The process by which transgender people become physically closer to their identity is called transitioning. Transitioning takes a lot of time and money, and the path can be long and difficult, both emotionally and physically. But Drake and Kaylee say transitioning is essential to being who they are and being truly happy.
I see what it does when I'm not transitioning and I don't have the resources. And so, because when you're transitioning, there's always the question, is this who I am? Is this what I really want to do? You know what you want the end to be, but it's genetics play a certain role in that, and it's all kind of up in the air. Your mileage may vary, and it seems very, very difficult. But difficult is okay, because difficult isn't impossible.
For those who identify as transgender, coming out is just the first step in becoming who they truly are. Next week, we take a look at the psychological and biological process of transitioning, how much it costs, and the risks of transgender people take to become who they want to be.